All right, welcome to the Iron Sharpening Iron Show. I'm your man, Big Jack. This is where we prove we are stronger together, that if each one would reach one, we can all grow and glow. And today is the last day of the month. I believe this is the last Sunday of the month for sure. And you know, when on the last Sunday of the month with the Iron Sharpening Iron Show, we do the spinoff, The Gentleman's Journal. And I'm super excited about having my panel of men come up on the stage and we can discuss some real topics that real men face on a daily basis, and I'm excited. I mean, it's been a whole month since we've had the last Gentleman's Journal, and now we're back, and we got a wonderful panel of guys that's going to break down some of the questions I have, and hopefully we can get in some deep conversation, deep thought, and be able to move this thing forward. So before we can even kick off, or not even kick off, we got people that are still traveling. We know that they're traveling. It's a holiday weekend. So those are going to be on the panel and they're traveling in. We're asking them for Godspeed as they travel to make sure that they get to wherever they're going safely and then come up on the stage. So just know that some of our guests will be on the stage, but they're in the process of traveling. So before I start bringing them up on the stage, and I'm going to bring them up one at a time. This is a former guest we had on the show. This pastor blew us up with his book and his excitement about just being a man of God and some of the trials and tribulations he went through. But the big thing is, and I'm still turned on, is just about, you know, how once he got turned around, he's on fire. So I'm going to get him up on the stage right now. And that's my man, Derek. Frank, how you doing, sir? What's going on, guys?
Hey, how you doing?
It's all good, bro. How you doing?
Good, man. Yeah. Glad to be here.
Oh, it's good to have you here. Good to have you here. And I'm going to bring the rest of the panel up and we're going to get deep into this conversation. So another gentleman we're going to bring up on the stage, Pastor Frank. And this is my first client I've ever had when I was, there was a time when I started back in a couple of years ago. Matter of fact, it's had to be over almost 5 years, or at least 4 years, almost 5 years ago. I was doing promotional videos. And I was trying to promote people. So you, like with you're getting started. I would create a video to help promote your books or promote whatever you were doing. And one of the first clients I had is this gentleman that we're bringing up on the stage now. So I want to bring him up in and thank him for helping me kickstart my little mini career, as we could say in that accent. But here he is, Mr. Maurice Jackson. Come on up. Hey, how you doing, sir?
Hey, fine, sir. How you doing?
Doing well.
Yeah, I'd like to intro about your getting started in the business, and I'm glad I was your first client. I know I wasn't the last one, but I still appreciate all the things you did to help my daughter start her career with the promotional videos when she was attending Howard University.
Yep. That's how it all started. And she's a former guest on the show as well, Miss Kendall Jackson, when she was up here. And I'm gonna help you, and Maurice, I'm gonna ask you to hold that just and give us a little insight on what's going on with her. Once we get everybody else up on the stage. All right, appreciate it. This young man, I've never even met him before. He's turned on by my son. He turned him on to me, and I know he's coming out of Tennessee State University, and I know he was a ball player there, so I know just a little bit about him. But we're going to get him up on the stage because I only heard good things about him, but this is going to be my first time really meeting him. So let's get him up here, Mr. Josh Green. How you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here, man. Down is the chain on the neck say J6?
J6
or JG?
yes,
Oh, J6. Okay,
yeah.
all right. Making sure. So he already a play, flashing bling all on us and everything. So we like that. And look, I see him pop in, and and it's normally anyone who knows the Iron Sharpening Iron Show. This is the first man that ever comes up on the stage, but somehow, I definitely didn't miss him. And I'm not going to play his logo. We're just going to bring him up. But this is my man coming up right now, my co-host of the Iron Sharpening Iron Show. And that's Walt Talks. What's up, my brother? How you doing, sir?
My man, what's happening, Big Jack? How you doing, sir? Gentlemen?
Oh, good. So
how you doing? How you doing?
Doing well.
So, Walt, we're in the Gentleman's Journal.
Yes, sir.
We got a couple more that's supposed to pop up on, but we're gonna let them travel. There are everyone up here, I think, except for Josh, made the comment that they traveled, and he might have traveled. He just didn't tell me, but they all have been traveling today. But I want I don't know, Maurice Jackson. That's Kendall Jackson's dad.
Oh,
And,
okay. Pleased to
yeah,
meet you, sir.
yeah. And
Pleasure to
then
meet
we
you.
got Josh Green from Tennessee State University. That's where Will Jr. is at.
Yep.
You
Mhm.
remember Derek Frank as he was on the guest on the show down
Great,
in Atlanta.
great book, sir. I read your book.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, sir. A lot of trials and tribulations, and came out smelling like a rose. So, my
Yeah.
man,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's
that's
true.
good.
So
Mhm.
with all that being said,
Yep.
we want to kick this thing off and kick it off right. We're here to talk about real topics, real situations and real things that's going on in the world that affect us as men, that affect us as Black men. And we want to make sure we get the truth out. You know what I'm saying? It's not about bashing anyone or anything, but it's just the truth. A lot of say stereotypes and misconceptions that's going around. That here's an opportunity to share your opinion and share your thoughts on that for sure. But Maurice, before we get started, I wanted to see if it's possible for you to. I know you said you just came in, and I think you said from the West Coast, and you were packing your bags on your way to Wichita. And can you explain a little bit for us, Maurice, why you're going to Wichita?
Well, thank you. Just coming back from the West Coast, I have a daughter named Kendall Jackson. If you're not familiar with her, she was the #1 HBCU golfer the last 4 years, coming out of Howard University. And she has just now decided that she wants to pursue golf full time and turn pro. So we were out on the West Coast. I went out for a fitting for the equipment sponsor. She got a chance to play in Steph Curry's I guess that would be him and his wife. They have a charity tournament, so she played in that. And now we're packing our bags. So actually, the flight leaves at 5:15 in the morning, and she will make her pro debut on the Women's All Pro Tour with ambition to pursue her LPGA card and go to Q School at the end of September. So just came in, packed her bag, went to church, and now we're out on the next flight in the morning.
Wow.
Right.
Wow.
Good for
Wow.
her.
Yeah, 100%. Congratulations on that.
Yeah. Congratulations. Yeah.
Thank you.
Wow.
Thank you.
That's a blessing.
It is.
It's a lot of work. A lot of people, we know, Walt, you play golf, and we play,
Well, I mean, we can't
but
have
not at that
we
level.
can't
Yeah,
talk about my game and your game in the same conversation.
no, and
But I am familiar.
no,
I am familiar with the game of golf.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Not
But-
Kendall Jackson level golf. Yes,
no,
sir.
no,
Mhm.
and she's awesome. She really is. But the big thing I was trying to get across with that is normally the tournament starts on a Thursday,
Yes.
and then they'll play a Thursday, a Friday, Saturday, Sunday if they make the cut. And
Mhm.
then that Monday or that Sunday and Monday, they're traveling, getting to the next location to play the next tournament. So, it's and then they get maybe a practice round on a Monday and a Tuesday, maybe Wednesday, and then they're right back at it on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. That's the life of a golfer, So it's like if they are good enough to make the cut and keep going, and a lot of people don't realize that there's no money if you don't make the cut.
Right.
So
Mm.
yeah.
No,
Wow.
sir.
You,
Didn't
No,
know
sir.
that.
No, sir.
you eat what you kill unless you have a sponsorship, and that doesn't last long if you don't win. So,
right.
so yeah, is that tour 4 days or how does that work?
It's actually their championship. Right now, coming out of college, she doesn't have any status.
Okay.
So she has to make the cut. But
Okay.
it's a 36 hole. Then there's a cut. So and then like I
Okay.
said, she'll play Thursday, Friday. If she makes the cut, she'll be around Saturday and Sunday. So if you don't make
Okay.
the cut, basically you're like Big Jack said that you're financially it's all for naught because you're basically playing on your own dime.
But you do have the lux. You have that experience is priceless. So
Oh, yeah,
hopefully she
sure.
gets the experience and makes the cut. But definitely walk away with I mean, that's a lot. So hey, salute to you, sir, because and fortunately you in a position to be able to be there with her to make sure that you can keep her on track and she doesn't have to worry about the thing. You can worry about the thing so she won't have to worry about it.
Yes, sir. So
Yeah.
ironically, I just retired
Oh man, okay, that's
last
perfect.
Monday, and so I kind of worked it out.
Wow.
So I've
Yeah.
been with my company 30 years. So
Okay.
I didn't want to send her out on the road alone.
Right.
So
Right.
I'll be not the manager, but I'll be the traveling parent because as you
I
know,
understand. I
she can't even
understand.
rent a car right now.
Right.
So
Right. Right.
yeah, so it's all those things a lot of people don't see behind the scenes. But
Man, that's great.
from a parent standpoint, my wife and I decided that hey, it would be best that I go out on the road with her and just trying to keep that home base and just kind of keep that family. We've always traveled throughout her collegiate career, so we just said, hey, we're going to invest in you, and then we're gonna be right there alongside of you.
Yeah, my wife came out of the real HU, so you know,
There
I'm
you go.
partial. I'm in DC, so I'm partial to HU for sure.
You know.
So yeah, you know, absolutely. So congratulations on that, and I mean that whole HU Howard University golf team, that was big. What Steph Curry did to help that out. So I
Yeah,
mean, she stepped right into that, man. So congratulations on that. Yes,
Thank you.
sir.
yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you. Truly,
And-
truly a blessing.
oh yeah, definitely. And again, being that first client, so I appreciate that.
Man.
And it was all because I remember when they first came on the scene. Because it was Kendall Jackson, so everybody like, oh, I like what you're doing for your niece. I like what you're doing for your daughter. I don't know,
Right.
she ain't related to me. You just got the
I
same
even
last
thought she
name.
was. I thought she was too.
Related
Yeah.
to me. But
hmm
from day one, it was almost like we were family, and they that's how they rolled with me, and I wanted to make sure I could do any and everything I could to help boost her
Great.
brand. And but she's a player. She's really really a good player, and she did her thing. So congratulations again, Maurice, for you and Team Jackson over there, and y'all keep doing your things, and we're invested in seeing how she goes. So keep me posted. I know you have, and I got my hat. I'll be wearing it all the time. So they sent me
Oh
a
yeah.
cool little hat, yeah, with their logo
Nice.
on it.
Nice.
So I'm super psyched. Huh?
We're actually working on her website now. So once her website is up and going, I'll make sure I'll send you the link for the merch.
Oh yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, 100%. So Mr. Green down there, don't think we forgot about you, my brother.
Oh, yeah.
So now did you play last year with Tennessee?
I did not play 2 years ago.
And so you're 2 years ago. So you was
Yes,
the
sir.
building of the champ. You was the building of the championship program.
Correct.
So
Yes, sir.
yeah. So you
Yes,
left
sir.
just before they won the championship.
Just before,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, that's up.
Yeah, it
That's up.
was a blessing to see them finish the mission though. That was
Right.
always a
Yeah.
plan that we
Yeah.
had when Coach George came, so it was amazing to see him finish the mission.
Right. Yeah. No, I watched it like because for those who don't know, William Jr., which is my son, is a strength and conditioning coach there at Tennessee State University. So, and that's where Mr. Josh played. And what position did you play there?
Safety.
Safety. Okay. So, yeah, another person that I would have had to run into
Oh
when I
boy.
played back in the day. So,
Oh boy.
It's all
hopefully,
good.
yeah.
Oh
Everybody say
boy.
that till they get in front of me. It's all good.
Oh boy.
It's all good, man.
Yeah, it's all good. It's all good.
Man.
So, look, gentlemen, we got you on the stage, and I want y'all to be open. I mean, really be open with your answers, and it is real talk. I mean, it's really real talk. And we got uh, Mr. Green is the youngest on the stage, I believe, at 25 years old, and then we got what were you at 60? What
61.
61? Anybody higher
Yes,
than
sir.
61? If you, it's okay. So, Walt, you leading you the
Hey
end of the
man.
line. And Josh, you in the beginning of the line. So we
If
got
I'm
all those other
the
areas in the middle. So there you
if
go.
I'm the elder statesman, you guys ought to be scared to death.
So, hey, look, man, look. They say it looked good. I mean, for 61, you
Hey
definitely. I
man.
say all the
Hey
time.
bro. In spite of myself, I'm still here. So you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. So look,
Yeah.
I'm always like, when I turn 61, I want to be like you, man.
Hey
I think I
man,
want to be
God's
like
grace and mercy is real. Trust
you.
me.
Yeah.
It's real. It's real.
So I got a question for you. I don't know if you can see it. And there's people that's in the chat. So as people come in the chat and they make comments, we'll recognize the people that's out there. It is a family-friendly show, so don't get that wrong in any kind of way.
Mhm.
So we even though we can be open in what we say, but just remember that I don't want to go to the family reunion and have to explain myself on what was just said and all that good stuff. And my mom is in the chat right now.
Yeah.
She's down here in the chat. And she said that Kendall played in a tournament that my mom was a part of, that she was out there at Wilmore Country Club. I think this was probably last week or a week before last. It was someone's birthday, and then they did a tournament and this and that, if you remember. But I remember she mentioned that Kendall was part of the tournament. So it was in Washington, D.C. area, PG County, probably a couple of weeks ago, if not.
Oh, you're talking about the Sapphire? No, she promoted it, but she wasn't able to.
She didn't play in it. Okay, so
Yeah.
that was the question. How did she do? But so she promoted but wasn't able to play in it. But there we go.
Yes, sir.
That was your answer. So no problem.
She's part of the media group. It's the new Sapphire team, or that's part of getting giving young ladies or African Americans an assistance in trying to help them pursue their dreams and get in on the LPGA.
Got you. All right. Well, there you go. And there you go, Sharon Jackson. Now you got your answer on that. How did she do? She promote. She didn't play. Yeah, there you go. All right. So here's the first question that I got for you. And so in relationships, do you feel Black men are given the space to be vulnerable? Or is it there's still pressure to always appear strong and unshakable? So do we have an opportunity to be vulnerable? Are we given that space? Or do we have to stand tough all the time? So it's not like I can bounce around, but anyone has an answer at this moment, and I want to hear
Yeah,
from both sides of the spectrum. So go ahead.
yeah. I think just off of the question, I think as a man, generally speaking, there's always a pressure to appear strong and unshakable. Just me still being like very young in this process, I still feel like as a man, as I mentioned before, it's always that itch. There's always that I don't know if it's society, but it's as a man, you want to be strong. You want to be strong for your family. You want to be strong for your relationship. You want to be strong for your kids if you have any, and you want to be seen and shown a lot of respect around you. So I think that all stems from you just being strong and unshakable. And at the same time, I believe um we are the answer to the question with if we're given the space to be vulnerable. I think it just depends. Like we can be given the space if we step out and actually communicate that to our partner. And I think if we don't communicate that to our partner, then maybe we'll not be given the space because we always appear to be strong and unshakable. So our partner might not even consider the vulnerability or might think as a man that we are okay, everything is fine. So that's kind of how I see that question so far.
That's very good points. Very good points. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Anybody else want to step in on this one? And thank you, Josh, for that.
Right.
I totally agree with Josh that you have to be as a man or the male figure, the head of the household. You've got to appear to be strong and unshakable. But I think it also too depends on your spouse. It depends on your wife. At times, she doesn't want somebody who's always going to be hard and rigid, who's not open to honest communication and letting her know, hey, babe, had a rough day today. I mean, it's one of those things where if you're married and you're growing with your wife, that you've got to be able to evolve and you just can't be one way all the time. So, I mean, it feels good to be in a marriage where I can come back and just say, hey, today was a bad day for me, or today wasn't a good day for me, and let her know what was bothering me. I mean, I don't want her to always think that I'm just so rigid and so thing that I'm not able to share with her my life experiences or my day to day trials and tribulations.
All right. Wow. So just to throw a follow up on that, and I know you can I know does vulnerability get confused with weakness in our communities? So that some people look at it like you're being weak because you're now opening up. Or go ahead, Walt.
So,
Go ahead, Walt.
so one of my favorite sayings is, "It takes a strong man to be that soft."
Mm,
And it's a joke, but it's true because the thing is this: the world, and certainly your woman, wife, girlfriend, does not really want to experience the man who comes home and is unshakable to the point that he has to keep that facade going because that's not healthy.
mm,
So I think people, on one hand, kind of appreciate it. They like to feel protected. They like to feel secure. But a man anybody, any person really who does not have peace, especially at home, can't be fun to live with. You know what I mean? So we just kind of keep it pushing because we are basically judged on what we provide. We're providers. That being said, just like my young brother down there said, you got to kind of take that. You have to kind of make people aware. You can't hold people responsible for something. My experience has been, I can't hold someone responsible for one, for my own happiness, and two, I can't hold them responsible for something I did not make them aware of.
mm.
I can't hold them accountable for something I didn't even make them aware of. And so I think, man, a lot of that comes with age too. because the maturation process is real. Brother Green, I'm sure when you were, 16, you weren't thinking like you're thinking at 25. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So
Correct.
you kind of, and then as men, the three of us and four of us up top, I'm sure that we got some life experience, man. It take one good time to get kicked in the behind to figure out that you got to take care of yourself first,
Mm,
put your mask on first, then save those around you. So I think, man, we're in a spot where if we as men are aware and self-aware, I don't think it's an issue anymore.
mm,
Because we can take it, and if you don't, we got options, and that's the thing. So you can hold the whole family hostage, or you can take care of your mental health. Your happiness, your peace. If you can't find peace at home, that's a man that's on his way out the door. That's a dangerous man. I do not want to be around anybody who can't find peace at home,
mm,
because that means you're gonna bring that garbage to wherever we are, the golf course, job, work, whatever. So
right,
I stay away from that guy because he needs to be able to vent. And if he can't
mm,
do it at home, he's gonna bring it out in the street. And I stay away from
mm,
that guy. That's a
right.
dangerous man.
I got you, sir. Pastor, you got anything for us on this one?
When you say relationships, I noticed that everybody gravitated towards the spouse, but are you talking about any relationship, like work relationship, or were you just, is that a blanket statement?
It's this
Any
relationship.
relationship?
Relationship.
Yeah. And so a lot of the guys, I love what all of the gentlemen have said. And so it's like they stole my answer. It really depends. It depends on the relationship. I mean, I've been in different relationships with work and home and business. When you become vulnerable, there's a certain element of letting your guards down. And
Mhm.
as men, we're taught not to let our guards down. That's how I was raised. I was taught don't show any kind of emotions. You got to be tough, And I have been in situations where I let my guards down, only to realize that I was taken advantage of.
Mm,
So it just depends. You gotta know who you're dealing with and how far to be vulnerable,
mm,
because you gotta have wisdom to know what type of relationship you're dealing with.
yeah, I got
Vulnerability, being vulnerable is always not a good thing.
mm,
Like the story in the Bible about Samson and Delilah. She found out his weakness and she exploited it. So it just depends on the relationship, and you have to know who you're dealing with.
I got you.
I agree 100%. And when
Yeah.
you say vulnerable, Jack, I don't look at it as taking to the extreme, so to speak. But man, I'm a big proponent of letting the music play and see who dances,
Right.
because I need to know how you really feel. So
Mm,
sometimes, if to be my coming to self awareness at a younger age was like, I just need to know if they are who they are, let them show who they are. I can't be afraid to find out who people are. I need to know who people are and what advantage they what now. Hey, I'm like you, Rev. I'm not gonna let them go all the way with it, but I need to know what you're capable of, because I have a tendency. I don't really have a middle ground, so I have a tendency. I don't want to be overreacting. So
mm,
when when the world turns, I need to be sure. You can't say that. Oh no, I didn't mean. I'll let you dance till I know exactly what you mean.
mm,
I'll let you hang and take enough rope. So if you don't have your feet, if your feet don't hit the floor, that's on you. If I kick the chair out from under you. So, and at that
mm,
point, you get everything you deserve in my
right,
mind. So that's where I am with it. So,
mm,
just being a friend. If I cut the cake, you choose the first slice. If you're a person that's gonna cut the cake and choose the first slice, I know I need to stay out your way. You know what I mean?
Right.
yeah,
And I know that right off the bat. So I'm like, okay,
mm,
got you. Just like with golf. I know you taking crazy drops, and I know you using the foot wedge out there. That's why golf is such a beautiful game, and I need to know that. I don't want to like not know that. I want to see that. I'm going to let you do that. I'm going to let
mm,
you dance and expose yourself for who you are, and then I don't
mm,
have to say nothing about it. I need to see all I need to know from that point.
right, right.
So yeah,
Yeah,
I'm
and
with
Yeah.
you.
yeah, I just want to add, that was a great point mentioning it matters the relationship, because if we're using business as an example, that was a
Mhm.
great example because with business, sometimes if you're vulnerable, that can mess up a relationship. Sometimes in business, I personally feel like you have to keep a certain type of boundary. I think, you have to read the room. You have to read the room,
Mhm.
and like you mentioned, let it work out, let it dance, and understand who you can be vulnerable with, who might not be ready to hear the vulnerability, the risk, the pros and cons to it. I feel like pros and cons to everything. What are you risking by being vulnerable in business? Will that mess up the business to where you guys might become more personal, and now the business side is messed up? Are you ready to risk that? And understanding that, like you might have to be vulnerable to a specific person. That's why in business you have hierarchies. That's why
Mhm.
you have different names in companies, different positions, because everybody can't be in the same position. Everybody can't be in the same hierarchy. That's where business, personal relationship, that's where everything just combined, and it is not a structure. So I think with the relationships, definitely, when you mention business, I think that's big because you can't always be vulnerable. It might feel good to be vulnerable, but if you're vulnerable to the wrong person that you don't have a close relationship with, then that person in a year, 2 years, even a few months can mess up the whole business that you built. So I think that was a great point.
Yeah, so the most vulnerable person in the world is the person who is not aware of the danger that's surrounding them.
Yes.
So you need to know where the pitfalls are, where the snakes are. You need to know what your own weaknesses are. You need to know what your
Yes.
triggers are. You
Yes.
need to know what your level of risk tolerance is, and is it. You need to know all of that kind of stuff because again, until you are challenged, until you are pushed, you don't know. And just like all of you guys on the stage, man, when you said you just done all you can do or take all you taken, it's usually about 30% of what you can really stand if you have to take. I mean, might not volunteer to sign up for it, but when it comes at you, it's like, okay, let's go because we got action. And once the action comes, you push through it. I mean, because we're here, because everything you've gone through, clearly you've been through because you're here. If you couldn't make it through to the other side, you wouldn't be here. Now all of us have different stories. So I'm with you 100%, man. Strong and unshakable. Again, that person right there, the self-aware person who knows he's shaking or or he's shaking. In our case, that person right there that's self-aware, he's a formidable opponent. He is a formidable opponent
Yeah.
because he knows when to hold and when to fold and when to walk away. And as men, we all know that this thing can go ugly real quick.
Real
Yeah.
quick.
Real quick.
Yeah.
So we don't say things to each other as men that women say to each other. We don't do that because we understand, especially if we were in a space together, it can go ugly quick.
Yeah.
So respect is huge.
Huge.
It's huge. I mean, that mansmanship respect thing is huge,
Yeah.
and the consequences are high. So I mean, that's just what it is, man. I think when it comes to respect as men, we especially as black men, you catch enough, out in the street, man. And so as it relates to coming home, nobody wants to deal with that. Who
Yeah.
wants
And
to deal with
that's
that?
that's
Yeah,
definitely the big place. And like you were saying, and all you have said, wonderful
mhm.
things on it, is the fact that there has to be a safe place. There has to be a
Absolutely.
place that you got that you can go and I can take my armor off to a
Yeah.
sense that I don't have to wear my shield and everything all the time. So
Mhm.
as y'all was talking, I'm thinking of the movie and Mr. Green, you might not have seen this movie, and the rest of them might have seen it, but the movie Warriors. I don't know if you remember that movie Warriors from back in the day.
Warriors come out
Yeah,
and
will
Oh
come
play.
out and
yeah.
play. You remember that? Yeah. So, but when the
Yeah.
guy, remember when they finally got to Coney Island, and the man said, "When I
Yes.
see the ocean, we feel safe." It's like we
Yes.
made it
Yes.
home.
You
We're
made
not
it
going to be
home.
fighting here
Right.
now. I got to
Right.
fight here too. Like when I
Right.
get home, I'm done with fighting. I've fought all day, all morning. I've been fighting, and I'm not going to fight when I get here. So, and they was like, "Nah," and that's at the end of the movie. Like that was his comment. When we get home, when I can see the ocean, I'm safe. So when I get in the house, I used to be a correction officer. So that
Right.
was one of my jobs. And when I walked, got inside those double doors and was on the side with the inmates, I was in red all day, all day. When I
Mm-hmm.
went through that door and was on
Mm-hmm.
the other side, and the inmates are behind me, I was in a yellow. And from the time it took me to get from the actual compound where the prison was to home, I tried to get rid of everything that happened.
Yeah.
So when I
Yeah.
walked in the house, I didn't take any of that with me. So because that was my place that I didn't have to. So during those times in my life, it wasn't one of those, well, how was your day? You didn't even want to know what my day was like. Let's talk about something else, because it was, you don't want to know what my day was like. I don't even want to share that with you. I don't want to share it with my kids. I don't want to share it with my wife, because it's just like, you don't want to know what I had to go through for the last 8 to 10, 12 hours. So let's just talk about something else. So that's where it's like, and can we talk about something else? Let me get this off my chest. I've been manned up all day. Now I need to not be manned up, and that's where, sometimes you get to show that, and it's okay. And that's the part I think we really want to get across is it's okay to have that moment. It's okay to I don't say let your guard down, because you're still watching the protection of the house and make sure nobody busts in and all that other stuff. But I don't have to be at guard as much in the house as I am. And if you do, whew, good Lord. Yeah. I got to be on guard in the house, and
hey man, you living in with a terrorist, man.
You will blow up. You will blow up.
That's terrorism, man. Hey man, look, we live our lives left of bang all the time. We live our lives left of bang. And just to give you an example, I'm in Washington, D.C. So you know what's going on in D.C. So even with that, man, I just try to stay out the way, because I don't have the patience at 61 years old. And no offense to you, Brother Green, with some 20-year-old guardsman from somewhere else to come up here and jump in my face on some garbage. I just don't have that kind of patience. So it's best for me to stay out of the way. It's best for me to stay out of the way, make sure I do what I'm supposed to do. And hey man, look, I'm a gentleman first and foremost in every situation. I take real pride in that. If you see anything else out of me, you created that yourself. You got what you deserve. And then the funny part is there's two people can tell you I'm one way, and somebody can tell you I'm another way, and both of them can be right. And you can know exactly how they came at me, because I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt coming out the door. That's just the way I've always been. Jack can tell you that. I'm just that way, man. I mean, like, hey, man, I'd make you aware. Hey, bro, pardon me, man, but you did step on my shoe. I'm talking about 15, 16, You did step on my shoe, man.
Right.
Oh, my bad, Slim. I'm sorry. Okay, cool.
So
I ain't coming out, something crazy. So, yeah.
And I got you all, and I got you also. I want that right there. What's going to lead us into another question. So, I'm not sure if Mr. Green, you have any kids. Do you have any kids? It's okay if you do that. Okay, that's nothing wrong with that. That's good. There's nothing wrong with that. And I believe everyone else on the panel has at least one child, right?
I think my kids might be older than you, Big Jack.
It is. It's okay. It's okay.
No, not yet. Not yet. I ain't that old.
Yeah, well, not yet. Yeah, not yet. But with that being said, and we know we always have the talk, or we heard about it. So as an uncle or a father, we have the talk. But as a Black man or African American, the talk is a little bit different. So here's the question. So for those who are fathers and uncles, what was it like having to give or receive the talk about receiving or surviving encounters with police and racism? So did you have to prepare your child, or did someone prepare you for where you were getting ready to go? And Maurice, I heard you when you saying, I'm gonna ride in the car with her and sending my daughter out. But when you were sending her to Howard University, so now you're going from Houston, Texas to Washington, D.C., did you have the talk? Did you have to have that talk with her?
Most definitely, you have to have that talk, because you don't want to see your child or nephew or family member out into the world unprepared. So regardless if they come from the suburbs, regardless if they come from the city, if they're traveling to they're traveling outside of your space or for view that you can see them, you got to prepare them, and you got to give them the honest, unbiased advice you can give them to prepare them. So when Kendall got ready to leave Houston and under my watchful eye, I had to prepare her that there's a world out there that you need to be prepared of. So yes, you have to do that, and that encounters police when it comes to being in Washington D.C., coming from Pearland, Texas, a suburb of Houston, but also too, even though you're going to an HBCU, you're going to be in the nation's capital. So there are going to be people that you are going to come across that may not have the same upbringing that you have. So you have to prepare them.
Yeah. Wow. So I'm gonna throw this at you, Mr. Green. Did you have that talk? Did someone give you that talk? Because you're not from Tennessee, right? Or are you?
No, I'm originally from Orlando, Florida.
So right, you said from Orlando, Florida, going to Nashville, Tennessee. Did someone throw the talk at you?
Yeah, I know my parents, they talked to my siblings and I before for sure. I would say it was way before I even went to college. Definitely when a lot of situations happen with as we know, like Trayvon Martin's
You know,
and the big seriousness of the world where we really have to open our eyes and understand that this is real. Um,
mm,
I think my parents took it as, you know, we were raised very well. So it was to the point where the talk was just, it was simple. It was a simple talk, a simple understanding of what we should do in certain situations, and it was left at that. I think my siblings and I were very close. We're 3 years in a row, so we're not so far apart in age. So we always very protective over each other. And I think when they gave the talk, or they would throw in a few points when situations happen, it's an understanding that we all, yeah, I got you. It's all good. And sometimes I think that's all you need. I think some people just need somebody to get in their ear and tell them, look, this just be aware and have understanding of when this happens or if this happens. Because the encounters can happen to anybody. Just understand how to move and a smart place to make. That's my father. He's very understanding of the things that goes on and understanding of the tricks that the opposition, I can say for this instance, tries to play. And he gives very good points of just playing the game. You don't always have to express emotion, express feelings. Everything that you feel or that you would like to say, it does not always have to be said. It does not always have to be heard. So once points are told to me, that's it. I don't need to hear a very long talk about it. It's like I understand. I'm old enough to see what's going on also, and we're good. And I've been blessed and fortunate to where I haven't ran to not too many encounters. I think a lot of times, as I mentioned before, I approached it the right way from the beginning to where it prevented a lot of futuristic things happening. So just when I'm told something, whether it's my parents or somebody else that I have a lot of respect for, it's quick and simple. If I respect you, if I understand you, and I really look at you as a great human being, once I hear things, I take it in. I'm all about taking new information in. And once it's instilled in me, that's all you need is good.
no, that's good points. Good points. So, Pastor, I'm gonna throw this one at you. How do you balance teaching caution without teaching fear? Because I know you said you got your grandkids, and you get in their face, and as far as that presence, you're here, and I'm sure maybe you'll have that talk. So how do you have that balance between caution and not fear?
Well, I have gave the talk. Um, I've had the talk given to me, and then I don't think I told you before that my son is a police officer
Okay.
in Atlanta,
In Atlanta.
Georgia, and his girlfriend is a police officer.
Mm.
Um, I guess once again, see, and this is just me. I'm always careful with taking a cookie cutter approach to anything. So I always try to look at both sides. You know what I mean? So once again, I will say that it just depends on the situation. But first and foremost, I have 5 boys. The oldest one is 33. I'm a young granddad. I have 7 grandkids. And I tell everybody, listen, first and foremost, when somebody pulls you over, they are in authority. So try as best as you can to de-escalate the situation. Don't argue. Don't do no subtle movements and all of that stuff. Just give them your license, be polite, and then you can live to fight another day, so to speak. That's the first thing that I would tell them. And at the same time, don't go around in fear. Believe it or not, I have been in Atlanta for over 28 years, and I've been pulled over one time, and it was no problem. It was a white officer, and he gave me a warning. Now, what do you think would have happened if I would have said, "Hey, man, why you pull me over, man? First of all, where's your license? Boom. Where's your registration? Yes, sir. No problem. And he let me go. Now, flip side, my son is a police officer, and he's been profiled. So it just depends on each scenario.
Right.
The police getting pulled over by the police. So it's just
yeah. I mean, and it's possible. So hey, Walt, I'm gonna come to you, sir. Do you remember, or did you ever receive the
Oh
talk?
man. So the talk, absolutely, the talk, and had to give it to my daughter when she started. She's 43, but when she started dating, I had to, because I come from an era where if I'm out on a date and I'm beefing with one of these guys, I see these guys, they may look at me crazy, but they wouldn't dare jump on me with the lady with me. You understand? But she came up in an era where they didn't respect that. So I'm letting her know when these guys go crazy, when they start doing stuff, you're in the way. So you need to be aware of what's going on at all times. And if it doesn't feel right, it's not right. Always made sure she had some mad money, the whole 9 yards, because I need to make sure you get home safe, and I try my best to stay out of jail if somebody gets crazy with you. You know what I mean? Now, the flip side, my grandson is 11, my granddaughter is 10. So I don't want them to lose their innocence, so to speak, but they need to be aware. So when we're out and things happen that they may not even pick up on, I don't try to ruin the moment, but I just kind of ask them, like, why do you think, did it feel like that guy was in a bad mood, or may have a conversation, just trying to make them aware, because, these kids. And I had this conversation with women. When women hanging out with us, they are not aware of everything we even see. I mean, think about how much stuff that you notice, fellas, when you're out with your lady, or your kids. And the women, the only way they can kind of feel that is when they are out with the kids. They on a whole level of awareness. But when they're out with us, they kind of let their guard down because they know that we got it. So you got to have that conversation and make people aware at all times. And like I said, Rev, you can't scare them, but you need to be aware. You can't live your life so nonchalant that you don't think these things happen, or not in my neighborhood, or not to me, or not because, this is good Christian people, or these are good rich people, or because you got people are people, man. And if you study humanity, it takes all kinds to make the world go around, right? And then in any moment, people can lose it. Right. And Maurice, man, you look at sports, what's out there for Kendall. Once she starts getting her groove on and starts winning, and bro, and I applaud you, man, because I know that you seem like a no nonsense guy. You seem like a no nonsense guy. I don't know which part of Houston you from, but I know, man, Houston got some real serious guys that stand on business. Some of the people that I've met from Houston. So, I mean, you're not going to tolerate certain things happening, and Kendall has to be aware. But she wants to she got to be able to get out there and play golf. But at the same time, man, and then you can't be out there blowing her opportunities because you can't control your temper.
Correct.
So it's a touchy subject, man, and it comes back to self-awareness. I'm not going to let somebody trick me out of my position based on something that hasn't even happened yet. Right. I'm going to de-escalate it at all costs. I mean, and trust me, bro, I got some people that's probably laughing right now because at me for even saying that. But I sometimes I give my best advice to my friends because I don't always use it for myself. But if you think about it, and if you talk to yourself, and if you really walk yourself through it, it can go bad quick, man. I mean, it can just go bad quick. So you got to have that conversation. And I'm thinking about that right now with the National Guard running through D.C. You just got to understand, man. You got to be aware.
But that's part of it too. And even with this conversation and talking to you all, it's just the fact that you definitely can't always be on guard. I mean, right. And as far as you're driving down the highway, you get pulled over, you can't be on guard from the whole. You don't know why he pulled you over yet. So let's get that part straight. Let's get that part out of the way. Why? First question. I'm a former military police officer, so I've been out there. I had to pull people over. the number one question as soon as you walk up, do you know why I pulled you over?
Right.
Yeah, and boom, they fussing at me out like, we just rolled down the window. Do you know why I pulled you over? I guess I was going too fast. Okay, so you already know you breaking the law. So now let's get this part straight. You breaking the law, right? Okay, so if you understand that part, then why are you upset with me because I'm doing my job? Because now that's the second thing that come out their mouth. Why don't you just pull over some of these people that's breaking the law instead of you
That's
are
right.
one of those people. That's why I
Yeah.
stopped you. You're one of them. So yeah, if I can go catch the bank robber, I'll go get him too. But right now it's you. So, and that's where, so you can't be on guard all the time, like bam. But I've been in situations, and I'm gonna ask you if you ever been in a situation where you was doing the right thing and you still got harassed or approached or whatever. And it's just because. And so when I was a little bit younger, matter of fact, I was on spring break. So Green, you'll understand this. And I'm on spring break. My mom found a job for me for spring break. I'm only there for a week and a half, but like make a little money while you're here. So when you go back, you got a little change in your pocket. I'm like, I'm down. So on the job is over. I'm on my way walking back to my mom's house. I'm on spring break. I'm walking back to her house. And when I get to a Roy Rogers parking lot, so I'm in PG County, outside Cheverly, Maryland, PG County, if anyone knows that area. And I get surrounded by like 5 police. All these cars come up to me and they surround me. They jump out their car, guns drawn. I mean, drawn. Boom. And now, when I played Green, my playing weight was 235. I was a walking muscle, fullback. I'm fullback out of Virginia Tech, 235-pound muscle. I mean, muscle everywhere. So and so I'm on there. They surrounded me in the parking lot. I don't even know what's going on. I'm just walking home. I ain't do nothing. I don't know nothing. But anyway, and they like, put your hands on the car. I put my hands on the car. I'm already spread it. And the officer walks up to me and he was like, spread your legs. I already had him spread. So he kicks my leg to get it spread. Remember, I'm 235, walking muscle. My leg didn't move at all. And like, I wasn't trying to hold it. It's just you ain't had enough strength to kick my foot. So now I'm sitting there. Now I'm starting to get worried because I'm like, all these little Barney Fifes, as I call them, little local police are scaring me because like I'm not doing anything. So, and it's probably about say 5:00 p.m. right? So then it's 5 officers, guns drawn. I'm sitting there. He kicks my leg. It don't move. So then I start moving my feet out to get a little wider because I'm like, I don't let him kick again. But then he's going to get all crazy. But I'm going to do my best. And then the female officer of these 5, she's like, what you doing at this time of night? I'm like, oh,
5:00.
So now I'm like really scared. I'm like, oh my God, like what the heck? But the thing is, but what happened was, and I was walking under an overpass. I'm walking through this little tunnel. Up above on the overpass, someone had robbed an armored car. And they were chasing the person. So when I come through the tunnel, the description is what? Black.
Black male, yeah.
Black
you right
male.
there by the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
You right there by the railroad tracks.
Black male. You know what I'm talking about? So black male coming through the tunnel. And it's like, so when I come through, they like, I got him. Here he is. So I'm like, oh shoot. That's all I fit the description. The description was a black male. That was it. And the officer that was doing the chasing, he came down. And when he got to the Roy Rogers, he looked at my shoes, and my shoes were dry. The person they chased had to run through some water to get to where I was. And that was the only thing that separated me from the description was I had dry. Had I stepped in a puddle or whatever on my way, I might have been hemmed up. But again, trying to keep that talk, having that calm mind, just do what they ask you to do, hoping that someone in the Roy Rogers, and this is back in 1990, had to be 92, maybe 91, 92. So the cell phones wasn't like that. Everybody got a camera phone on you now. So, but you're just hoping that someone will witness this and be able to tell the truth if something was to go off. But I was really, really afraid, not because I did anything wrong, but because the reaction I was getting and not knowing why I was getting it. So I'm telling my story, but I'm only saying it. So have any of you ever experienced anything like that? And how did you handle it? And I'm going to go with Mr. Green. If he has it, if you haven't, it's okay. And that's good. Praise God for that. But if you have, please share it if you don't mind.
Yeah. Personally, I think as I mentioned before, I've been very fortunate. I think I've been pulled over not much at all in my life. And a lot of times when I'm pulled over, when I think it goes back to just treating everybody how you want to be treated. Treating everybody with respect. Because yes, it might be a stigma with the industry, but that doesn't mean it's a stigma with that specific person.
Right.
That person that's putting you over, he has a family he want to come home to at night also. So it's a mutual understanding, and I think it gets to the point where if we don't want to get judged by our description or the car we drive by the officer, so we have to show that same type of respect and not judge them off of them just simply being an officer. And I think when it's that mutual respect, it's the understanding. And the times I was pulled over, um, I mean, I don't like to do too much. I mean, here, like you say, they're an authority. If you know you're in good hands, if you know there's not much for you to worry about, then if it's a ticket, take the ticket. If they want to check your car, take your car. Then you can explain it afterwards. Now it's social media's cameras. A lot of cars have cameras nowadays. I drive a Tesla, so like everything. If I really wanted to get to the point where I have to take it that far, we all have opportunities to do that ourselves and not make something bigger than what it needs to be, because we have to show our side of respect first before we if we don't show that type of respect and we want to put this out on social media, we want to do that, we will see the bad side of the officer, let's say, but at the same time, we will also see that we didn't show no type of respect. And that's where we will never come to a fine line and understanding that has to be a mutual agreement between both parties to the officer. You don't know the person doesn't know me at all. So I was put over about say no more than 5 times in my life, probably not even five. And a lot of times it was just warnings because I feel like it was an understanding and respect level with both parties. There was one time when I was younger, my father was pulled over. We was in a neighborhood that's not the best. We was heading to pick up one of my teammates for practice. We was going to football practice, and my father was put over in the neighborhood. I was in the front seat, in the passenger seat, and I had my teammate in the back passenger seat. And when the cops put my father over, I believe it was for the 10th, and he already received two tickets earlier that day, I believe, for the 10th. But when officers pulled him over, it was one officer on each side of the car in the back seat, and I think that's where I understood that I had so much respect for my father because he remained calm throughout the whole situation. And him being my father, me having respect for him, I stayed calm throughout the whole situation.
Right.
When I first see everybody around me, I for sure like, oh, like what's going on? He stayed calm throughout the whole situation. He had an understanding that he has an all black tinted out car, not in the best neighborhoods. They're probably looking for somebody. It was understanding. He showed them that he had previous tickets, so they couldn't ticket him. And we went about our day. We made the practice. It could have easily went the other way. My father could have easily popped off. He fits the description. He's a black male. Some cops would be intimidated by him, so he could easily did the opposite, and which would have reacted me to do the opposite, yell or whatever could have happened. But that's why I say just it has to be a certain type of respect level, definitely from the driver, because if the driver remains calm, everybody else can remain calm. So that's kind of my take on that.
Hmm. All right. All right. Anybody else, gentlemen? I mean, do your if you don't have anything, it's okay.
Oh,
I
I
mean, you don't
mean,
have to.
I've experienced it, but my thing is, when I was doing background checks for my previous employer, guys trying to get on the fire department, I noticed that 85 South, if you guys familiar with Dinwiddie, Virginia, down past Petersburg, right? Anybody's ever gone down North Carolina? So I'm getting guys. I'm noticing I'm getting guys who are out of state or black were getting reckless driving charges for doing 20 over the speed limit. But I'm noticing guys who were in state or either white were getting charged with doing 20 over the speed limit. And because that officer on the scene has a lot of discretion, just like you guys, I have a lot of friends who are police officers. retired and working, and I have an uncle who was the police officer who got killed back when I was in eighth grade. One of my favorite uncles. So hey man, I'm going to put myself in a position, and it's like I tell everybody else, you need to be so decent that it's obvious that someone else is not being decent. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's how you win that situation. But you know, we know, and Derek, you know this. Your son to tell you this. You know, the police, man, they in their training. You know, calm down, stop resisting. Those are words that provoke people, man, and they know that, and that's part of their training. And I have this debate with some of my friends all the time, and I'm like, man, when you're not in uniform, you look just like me. And I've had that conversation with a Greenbelt police officer back in the day, and I went straight to his superior, and then they wanted me to just gut him, and I didn't, and I could have, but I ran into that guy probably 5 years later at the Chipotle, and had a conversation with him, and he was sergeant then on his way to making lieutenant, and I told him how much I could have just basically stopped his promotion almost, and then you know you got to understand, man, police officers just just because they have on a uniform, they are scared too. They are scared too. And I got to be honest with you, bro. I want to make them as comfortable as possible. Oh, you been through this before? I mean, I don't get pulled over much now. You been through this before? Hey, look, I just want you to be comfortable. I want you to be comfortable. My lights are on, my windows are down, my music is down, took my hat off, all of that. I want you to be comfortable. But the one that used to burn me, man, was, oh, why didn't you say you were a fireman? I shouldn't have to say I'm a fireman to be treated fairly. You understand? So as long as you treat me fair, I'm good. But if you're not, I ain't gonna scream and holler at you, man. I'm gonna put it on paper. And when I reduce it to paper, Slim, we're gonna talk about it, and you're gonna find out the hard way of who really has the authority. And nothing may not happen to them on that time, but I do know at some point somebody's gonna have to be accountable for your actions, and they're not taking the hit for you. I do know that for a fact. So, hey, man,
So,
that's my piece right there.
okay. So, Derek, I don't want to put you on the spot, but you wrote a whole book about it. So, so do you have any of your situations or anything that you want to add to this part? I know you talked about your son, but
yeah, well, I want to say this, and once again, I don't like cookie cutter answers. You just have to look at the situation. But I will say this: I want y'all to think about this. Think about somebody that's 22 years old. They go to the academy for 2 months. They get out and basically put into a war zone.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's probably budget wise. I don't know why they wouldn't put a older experienced officer, pair him with a younger officer. But in certain cities, they don't do that.
Sometimes they don't have it.
They put them in a car, give them a gun, and send them into a war zone. I don't know if you guys understand, but there's a lot of stuff. Think about it. Police, a lot of people don't call the police and say trick or treat or Merry Christmas. It's a war zone. Some of the stuff I could tell you here would send chills to your body. They're under pressure. Some of them are just children. So somebody said tonight that they're trying to make it home too. Right. So they're getting it all of these different ways. I don't know. I just don't think that things. I think things are different. When we were growing up, we had a certain amount of respect, for the police officers and everything. But now it's like a lot of times my son said that there's no respect. Nobody has respect, for the police. So you pull over a young person, they're like, man, what you pulling me over for? F the police, and they ready for whatever, not understanding that somebody also said that the police officer has a lot of discretions.
Right.
If you just chill out, you may go home with a warning. But you didn't took a warning and brought it all the way to the point to where somebody could get killed. By the way, my son's girlfriend, she was out of the academy for a month and she ended up killing somebody.
Wow.
Oh wow.
Well,
So you
amen.
have to look at the whole thing.
Oh,
Like
100%.
the best thing to do is just cool out, sir.
Mhm.
Here's my license, because everybody's trying to make it home.
Wait
And
a minute. I'm sorry, Pastor Frank. Let's clarify. She had to discharge her weapon, and someone lost their life
yes,
doing her job. So she
yes.
didn't just go out there and kill somebody. I just want to make sure we get that.
Let's
Yeah,
clarify.
I'm
Yep.
with you.
She
Yeah,
got
okay.
she got
All right.
called somewhere, and
Right.
the guy just pulled a gun out, was waving a gun around,
And she had to discharge. I understand.
and
I'm with you.
she
I
had
just
to
want
do
to
it.
make sure.
Thank you.
Right,
Thank
right.
I
you
just
for
want to
that.
make sure we don't.
Yeah.
Don't want nobody get the wrong
Yeah, right,
No,
right,
message.
right.
and it's funny. We know that, and you're right,
Yeah.
man. You're right,
Yeah.
Big Jack. So
Yeah.
that was, yeah,
Yeah,
that
so
was
she was in the
cool.
line of duty. She had to discharge her weapon, and someone's gonna see. And that was a big thing. Y'all have all said it, and I don't want to. But
Mhm.
I was, even though I was military, I was military police, and where I was stationed, it was on the line. So where it got the base, and then the public can
Mhm.
come through the base. So that was when I was in Fort Stewart, Georgia. Was like that. Fort Lee, Virginia was like that. So because of that, you dealt with the public and you dealt with the military. So you had to know, when you had a traffic stop, there's no such thing as a routine traffic stop. There's no such thing, because you don't know what the other person has going on in their car. I've had a kidnapping. I've had a freaking bank robbery. I mean, it's just, you pull them over and you're shocked that they even pulled over. Like, you got this going on in your car and you pulled over.
Yeah.
And now comes it's that split second situation that you're now dealing with, where it's like, okay, because when you walk up to a car, and that's why a lot of people don't realize, you see the police touch the car, touch the back of the car.
Yeah.
Only reason putting the fingerprint
Tail
on,
light,
so
put
if
the
something
fingerprint,
happened,
yeah.
that if they ever find that car again, at least they can say, well, yeah, Jackson was here because he put his hand on the car. So that's why they touch the car as they're going up, just to give you that, just so I can leave my print on there in case something goes off, because there's no such thing. Not only do I have to deal with the person in the car, I also got to deal with the person that's driving 80 miles an hour beside me because we pulled over on the side of a highway. So I got all of this stuff going on. And again, I run your tag and it comes back to your girlfriend because it ain't your car. And now I'm looking at this man in the car, but it says it's coming back to a female. And now I got to walk up there with a whole different mindset, because it's not the person that I'm thinking. And don't let it come back and say there's warrants. That changed the whole game. And now all of a sudden and then you get warned, or not say warned, but you start getting anxious because two people heard the call when I said I pulled over a car, and they show up. So now, like, what you need all these police for? It's the radio. They happen to be in the area when the radio went off, and they came up. Some of them will just drive right off. If they look like everything is good, they just drive. You've seen them. They just drive right by. Some of them will sit there and watch. And it's just so weird how it happened. But you got to stay calm in a sense, because you just don't know what's going to, what could turn out. Something that stayed so minor could have turned out. I hit a deer one time. So I hit a deer on the highway, and I had to call the police. I called the police so that they can come out there, because it did a lot of damage to the car. When the officer showed up, I had my oldest son in the car with me. When the officer showed up, as soon as the police pulled up behind, he wants to jump up and like get out the car. Like, don't be jumping out no car. This is 2:00 in the morning. Don't jump out no car. What is wrong with you? Because like, first of all, it's 2:00 in the morning. You got me on this dark highway, and I don't know what's going on. I said I hit a deer. That could have been a setup. So that's in the mind of the officer. So like, you don't jump out of no cars and stuff. So we got to have this talk. Like, what are you jumping out for? And when the officer walked up, I said, he's like, what was the problem? I said, I hit a deer. His comment was, don't no deer come through here.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, but he's joking, because what he did was pointed up the street and there was a deer crossing sign. He's like, they don't come through here. They up there. And I'm like, but if you was already on the guard, like, dude, I know what I did. But he was like, okay, you hit the deer. And he said, why didn't you could have, because all it did was like rip the mirror off my car and bust the headlight. But my whole thing was, that right there is a reason for you to pull me over. Right now, and I'm calling you to me. I want you to make sure that we don't have a reason to pull me over. Like I say, give me something to show the next officer that we've already talked about this, that I'm now safe to keep driving and whatever, because that is a reason to pull over. Headlight out, mirror hanging off, that's a reason. and so, but when he made that joke up front, and if you are, your mind ain't even, you already rattled that you hit this deer and your car is messed up. And he like, the deer, don't no deer come here. And I'm like, What are you talking about? I know I hit a deer. He like, and then he pointed up at the sign, and I'm like, okay, all right. So you're in a joking mood. I don't know what to do with this, but okay. But it was just more, I think he was trying to get us to calm down because, you
Right.
know, you just had an accident, no matter how you look at it. And you see me not say much fussing at my son, but like, dude, you can't jump out of cars
Yeah.
like that. You got to stay relaxed and stay calm. Even if you know that guy, stay in your car, don't get
Yeah.
out. But that's part of the talk. So, and that was the whole question was, have you had to have the talk? Most people had the birds and the bees,
Yeah.
but on I, you know, I had people and I had to talk to my sons about it too, about, you know, how to react and how to act when you, if you get pulled over, you know what I'm saying? And being already headstrong right off the back is the wrong answer. And you got to give a sense. So, um, anybody else got anything to add to this? If not, I'm gonna
No,
move to
man,
one more.
we could be because that's a show in
Yeah,
itself, man.
we
Yeah,
can
yeah,
go on about this one.
yeah.
Yeah. So
So
what's your next question? Oh, go
I
ahead.
got one more question I want to go with
Mhm.
y'all because we already an hour in, and I appreciate
Man.
it. So I want to throw this
Mhm.
one out here because it was on my mind today, and I appreciate y'all because these are good topics and good answers that y'all putting out. So, but here's the next one right here. What generational stereotypes or family cycles have you worked hardest to break, and how has that shaped the man you are today? So, what generational stereotypes or family cycles that you worked hardest to break, and how has that shaped the man you are today?
I
So,
think I'll take that one. I'll be the
all right,
first
go
one
ahead.
to take
Yes,
that
sir.
one. I'll take that one. I think the stereotype that I try to break is the absent father or
Mm,
the absent black father. Um, I just want to make sure that my daughter knows that uh, I'm always going to be there. I'm always going to support her, and especially coming off the golf side, is that we don't see a lot of us on African Americans in the golf space. So I want to make sure that she understands that the support's always going to be there because usually when you see the other people, you see a two-parent household or you may see a dad or a mom, but uh, I don't want to be the angry black parent, but I want to be make sure I'm the supportive black parent.
mm,
And that goes both ways when you're dealing with a daughter, because a lot of them feel like, oh, you must be like the Richard Williams or someone like that. But a lot of times, uh, I want people to understand that you have a strong black father figure,
mm.
and I'll just say that you don't see a lot of that in the golf space.
Right. Wow. No, good points. And then that was the one that was sitting on my mind. So I'm glad that you hit on that absent father thing because that blows my brains every time. But anyone else want to add on the stereotype, the generational stereotypes
Yeah.
or family cycles that you work hard to break?
So I was my mother and father. When I was born in '63, my parents were born in '58. You understand? My mother and father were divorced when I was 10. So I, at 18, my daughter was born. So I didn't come from the broken home, so to speak, right? I mean, I knew better, so to speak. So my thing was just like Maurice, but the other side of that, I wanted to make sure that I made this the best of this situation and was always present because I didn't want to be the baby daddy. Well, that wasn't even a term then, but that guy. So I was always present at PTAs and back to school and college visits and talent shows and debutante balls and all that kind of stuff. And the hardest part, back to the cycles of stereotypes, was having a conversation with her while, I love you and your mom loves you to death and we are not together. This is the life that we have, but this is not the life that I would recommend for you. But I can't, but you have to say that in a way. Oh, I mean, back then it was not, it was, I just wanted to make sure I said that in a way that it wasn't like this was like a mistake, so to speak, even though it was not planned. Does that make sense to you guys? I mean, you guys may not be in that situation, but the main thing is, man, and I have this conversation with people all the time. I, I just don't understand if there's something that you did not like or something that adversely affected you as a kid, why would you bring that on to your kids? I just could never understand that part. So basically, you just, if something bad happened, be the opposite of that. because you know how it made you feel. You know what you're dealing with right now, what baggage you're bringing. So when the generational thing, whatever it is, if the way you get your revenge, so to speak, if it was that devastating to you, is just don't be like that person. Just be different. And because that person may come around down the road and see that, thank God that you didn't deal with things the way I deal with things. So that's where that's how that plays to me. And again, with my grandkids, it's hard to believe that I'm the same person. I can't believe my mother was the same person when I saw her with my daughter, because there's no way in the world the woman I remember, she was a whole nother woman with me, man. I probably deserved it, but I'm just like, man, my mother used to say to me, I don't know what you did to deserve this, because my daughter was like, no problems. And I'll be like, yeah, because maybe I was a better parent than you messing with her, right? Say that from a distance. I say that from a
Yeah.
distance, but God bless my mom, never she did. But that's what it is, man. So, you just gotta address them. Like you say, man, you gotta be there, be present. And one good thing that always goes full circle, man, because I was probably about 18 when I moved out the house. I was 18 when I moved out the house. And I think it was about 3 weeks in, maybe my first rent, when I had to apologize to my mother. I didn't know how hard it was being an adult. like,
Mm,
like this adult thing is overrated. It's definitely
mm.
overrated. So that's the
Yeah,
that's the that's my take on that.
I got you. I got you. Pastor, Mr. Green, either one.
Yeah, I think for me, the first thing that comes to my mind, you know, I think I still have a lot of experience, but for sure, I'll say just understanding leverage, understanding how we can have leverage in this world that can help us escape, certain issues financially. I think just understanding, you know, me being in finance, I learned a lot about, leveraging your finances, finding certain ways to not have to. I think, growing up, and I think it's a little bit of a stereotype, I think generally, we grow up, some things that happen in family, always comes back to sometimes finance or sometimes just finding that extra cash for that just to last for that month to the next month, last to the next paycheck. And I think me just understanding, how can you leverage this? How can you have certain type of leverage to where when you get your when I have my future family, when I have my future kids, when I get older, how can I set up a certain type of leverage to where it takes away stress, which creates peace, which creates gives me time to think about innovative things that can create more leverage and then more leverage. And now you're in a space to where you're able to do a lot of things for your family. You're able to teach and have and give an understanding and to other people. I think it's something that I'm really big on right now. And my father and I, we talk about this all the time, but it's just understanding that once you have that leverage, then you have certain people that you're able to talk to, and when they see that you're able to explain what you're doing, you're able to provide the examples, the evidence, and now create a certain type of respect. And that person goes to next person goes next, and now we have a certain type of cycle to where we can help each other out.
Mm,
And I think that's big. Us wanting having to help each other out, us having to give each other the right information and not always have to go to the next man of the opposite skin color. Just understanding that, have a like-minded person that, looks just like me. And, we're not afraid or we don't fear something that's not normal, for our race. And we're able to, attack that and have confidence in us in what we do and us creating that leverage to where I think once we have confidence and leverage as a black man in the black community, we're unstoppable. So I think it's us creating that confidence and gaining that leverage in areas that's not generally stereotypically, meant for us. If
mm,
we have to understand that if we can create that leverage, we have people that's expanding the knowledge and we have the confidence, then the sky's the limit. So I think it's just really just me just understanding that and just keep day by day getting better and learning more and spreading the knowledge to eventually have an understanding at the end of the road. There's a vision in mind, and the vision can be taken care of. The vision you can see the other side of the wall, and once you see the other side, you're able to bring others with you, and now you have a team. And after you have a team, you have a corporation.
Mm.
I think if us as black people we're able to create that corporation, it's gonna scare a lot of other ones. So I think it's really understanding that and building on
Mm.
top of that.
All right. Pastor Franks, I'm going to ask you if you have anything before I throw some more out there. Because what Mr. Green said, I want to touch on real quick.
Stereotypes. There were so many stereotypes even growing up. You guys already know that I grew up without a father, so all of it's like a whole list of stereotypes that I heard growing up, and I have really tried to break every stereotype. Black men are not involved with their children. Black men are not good with finances. Black men are lazy. I've really, really tried, to so to speak, let my light shine and try to be everything that God has called me to be, with me for myself, God watching, and for my family. Really have, and I don't always hit the mark, but I'm really trying to break some of those stereotypes.
Now, do you believe that a lot of people are afraid to be successful? They don't want to be successful because I mean our history have shown being successful, even what you said, Mr. Green, is not a safe space. We can definitely go off of a lot of history that we could show where it's not we'll allow you to get a spot and get a place, but you can't go past that. So and you're now you have a target on you from both sides, from your own people. There's a lot of people that look like you that don't want you to be successful. I call it the crabs in the barrel. Where I'm trying to get out this barrel, but I got 10 crabs holding on to me, trying to hold me back. They won't let me go. So is that a real thing, or am I just imagining?
No.
That.
Yeah, I think that's real, and I think you brought up a great point. And I think it's up to ourselves, it's up to the individual. You don't have to be a very successful man. You don't have to do this. You don't have to do that. It's what you want to do as an individual. Success can be many things.
There you go.
If you want to, if you say you want to do this by the end of the month, or you want to do this by a certain age or whatnot, that's success. You're reaching your goals. You're reaching your individual goals. For me, I like waking up every day and attacking my tasks for the day. That's a successful day, but it can be many different things. And as you mentioned, when you reach a certain success level, there are things that can literally hurt you and turn you the opposite direction. And that's why I feel like if you want to be successful in the way where you understand the game and you're at a safe level to where you can escape the negatives that will come after you, I think that's good. And I think that just goes back to everybody has to understand that this is a game. This is a game at the end of the day. Play the game right. Understand the risk that you're taking if you want to be at that certain type of level, and understand if you don't want to be at that certain type of level, don't try to push yourself there, because all that's going to do is hurt you at the end of the day. So I think success is many different ways, and as an individual, you have to understand first what you want for yourself. You can't just chase everything just because of what society says, or what looks good or sounds good. Because at the end of the day, it's going to tear you down as a person. And if you're down as a person, you can't provide for nothing. Your family, everything else just goes down. So I think it starts as an individual yourself.
No,
I
that's a
think
good
you
point.
got to define success because success isn't money. Success isn't fame. Success is, I mean, like you said, Jay Green, is a lot of different things.
Yeah.
But when people say, man, I just want to be successful, what does that mean? I ask them, what does that mean? Jack, we've had this with the show.
Right.
Man, I just wanted to be successful. What is success? Because it's like a dog chasing his tail. You'll never get it. And for us, especially us golfers on the thing, you know, you figured out the day. Tomorrow is a new day, Jack. It's a whole nother day, man. It's
Right.
a whole nother day. Same
Oh,
thing with being a safety, right?
Yeah.
As a safety, you got to have the shortest memory of all, right?
Yeah.
You because if not, you can't perform. Rev,
Because
you know,
the
man, and
next
I read your book, and I enjoyed that. You know for a fact that like just when you think you got this thing licked, here comes some more problems. So the higher level, higher devil, man, that's just life.
Mm.
So if you're going through life not realizing that it's not going to be easy, that it's not going to be fair, that it's not going to always be fun, man, you'll live a much better life. And that comes
Yes.
back to being aware and self-aware. And man, for me, I tell you right now, man, one of the books that really, really sank in with me was The Millionaire Next Door when I read it, because Robert Kiyosaki, because you, I mean, this internet thing, people have false what appears to be success doesn't mean they're successful.
Mhm.
I mean, but they floss and they looking like this, you know. I mean, because for likes and clicks. But man, the people that's really successful, man, the real millionaires, you know, you Warren Buffett walk down the street, you just look like an old guy, old guy. You know, man, what does this guy want? I mean, you know, he still got the same. He's still living in the same house he he lived in before, and he's a
Yeah,
billionaire several times over. You know, so
yeah.
I
Car,
just think,
yeah.
man, if we stay out the way and understanding that what you eat don't make me go to the bathroom, so to speak, since it's a family show. You know what I mean?
I got you.
It's just like I just think we'll be better, man. And success, if your success, and back to sports again, because you guys are athletes, and if you define your success by how well you can do a thing, the moment you can't do that thing anymore, you're done. And I have this conversation with women too. You're not going to always be the prettiest girl in the club, because there's another batch of girls coming behind you that's going to be the prettiest girl in the club. And the old guys going to be looking for them. They're going to be checking for the older guys will be checking for them, not you. So if you built your whole thing on looks, that's going to be a problem, you
Mm,
know? So just, I just think this whole success thing, man, you got to find your mark, like you said, Jay Green, whatever that is, and achieve that. And then set another goal for yourself and whatever that is, man, because if money made you happy, because money won't sustain you in the job. I certainly had a job that I thought my life was worth more than what they were paying me, but I enjoyed what I did.
mm,
But if you wake up and work for money, man, you're gonna be miserable. And if money were the answer, rich people wouldn't kill themselves.
mm.
You know, because a person who has no hope and has all the money in the world and has no hope is in a worse shape than a person who's broke and just figured, man, if I can just hit this 3-digit number tonight, I'm good. You know, and that's
Yeah,
what it is. So,
right,
and so, hey man, that's a great question, and all these questions were great tonight, Jack, because man, each question was a show in itself.
right, right. Oh, yeah,
So
yeah,
yeah, so I appreciate you guys on that, man. And this is good stuff, man, because these
yeah.
conversations need to be had, man. This
Need to
gentleman's
be.
journal thing is really doing what it's supposed to do, man. So
So,
thank you
gentlemen,
for
I'm
that.
gonna, I'm gonna throw this at y'all, and I thank you all. I'm gonna throw this at you, and I want to throw first. I'm gonna say something to Maurice over here, because the way he handled his business, um, like I said, he was my first client. If I had a client, I wasn't even real. I didn't even have a business license or nothing. I was just having fun playing with videos,
It was a Jack
and
leg.
and I saw. Well, really, I saw something in Kendall Jackson. I was like, I want to attach to that. This person is going pro. I know they're going pro. And I'm reached out to them
Wow.
as like, hey, I'm, can I please help? And the way he handled it, and I want to say this, was the fact that everything I sent them and they approved it and they sent it back like, can you change this, change that, and I changed whatever. But he always sent payment. He didn't like, come on, man, hook a brother up, and he never rolled like that. And I'm like, but so many times,
Yeah.
and I'm trying to get myself up. I'm trying to build my business, trying to whatever. I need your support, but at the same time, it's like, we always looking for the handout, always looking for, can you hook a brother up and all that. No, I'm still trying to make business. I'm trying to do, and because I really wasn't, I was okay with if they didn't, because I was just having fun doing it. But at the same time, I want to say thank you, because you showed me something then, that you was treating Kendall not so much like a business, but it was professional. You had high hopes. She needs a brand. She needs this. She needs that. You wasn't seeing her as just a person who on a scholarship going to college. We saw it pass going on, so like you were saying, Green, setting these goals. So getting to college was a goal. Winning the first tournament was a goal. being all HBCU and all state or all college, or making the college All-American teams and all of that was a goal. Making academic All-American was a goal. These were goals that they had set before she even got there. Before, when she was taking karate and playing the piano and shooting basketball and all, they had goals for her. So those are the things that we have to do, as men in our generations. And Green, I know you're young, but I'm sure your parents, because you said you got 3 siblings and y'all real close and y'all suck. So your parents was doing it. They had goals for y'all. Did all 3 of y'all go to Tennessee State?
No, my brother and I, my sister went to Florida Atlantic, and then went to UCF for grad
Okay, I
school.
didn't know the other one was a sister, so I'm thinking of 3. I'm thinking all boys, so that's my ignorance to not even asking. But I'm with you. I knew your brother went. Okay, so but the thing is, having the goals, making them achievable, and seeing more in your kids and seeing more in yourself, and not worrying about what everybody else seeing you. Because like I say, I got to do this thing. I got to do this thing. Yeah, it's great to have support, and it's great to have people. But that's why I had no problem watching Kendall and supporting Kendall, because until you just said that, Maurice, I didn't even know you had a job. I'm like, this man must be the richest guy in Texas, because he's always with Kendall. He's at the tournaments, he's traveling. I know they live in Texas, she in DC. How's this guy making it, but he was there. And that's like, wow, that to me was just a wild moment, because that's like, that's how it should be. And that's what I saw. And I saw, so the investment, and it's paying off, because now she's living her dream in a sense of, getting the next level. And I know that that's not the end, because the LPGA might be, or I don't even know what the end is. So she might want to be in a LPGA Hall of Fame or something. I don't know what the goal is, but whatever it is, I know she's going to do it, because that's just the type of person she is, and having that support. So here's this. This is my last question for y'all, and I appreciate you being here on the Gentleman's Journal today. But what do you hope your kids or the next generation say about you? What do you hope your kids or the next generation say about you? So each one of y'all, anyone could go first, and just know that's the question. What do you hope your kids or the next generation says about you?
I can start that off. I think I for sure I would want my future kids or the next generation just to say that I take care of what's mine. Everybody around me, even to this day, I take care of them. I'm always open to understanding. I think it's big to understand everybody around you, all your friends, all your close loved ones, understanding their goals and aspirations, always being there for them through the ups and the downs. Just I want them to say that I'm very loyal, very respectful, and for sure an achiever. As you mentioned, I think goals are very important. And once you get to a level to where you reach your goals, there's more to go. There's more goals to set, because when you get to a point where you don't have any more goals or any more success stories to tell, then what's the point of you being here? So I think it's just them having an understanding that I was a very eager achiever, very respectful, and really took care of what's mine.
Okay, yeah, what's up? Let me see, Maurice, have you got anything for us on this?
Oh yeah, I like what the young man said about being an achiever and all that. I think that what I would want the next generation, or even my family, my daughter, just to say, because my parents were there for me, that I need for them to do the same thing. I'm trying to lay the blueprint for them, to make sure that I pass along the good values that were instilled in me from my parents, and then to pass that on to my daughter or to the next generation.
Mm, okay, I appreciate that, Pastor Frank.
Well, that's a big question. But for sake of time, I would say that I would hope that the generation that I leave here would say about me. I would say that they would say that everybody know I'm not perfect, so we can just move that out the way. But I really, really try to let my light shine. Like, what does that mean? That means in every situation, I want them to say that I have tried to treat people the way I want to be treated.
Mm.
And if a lot of people would do that, I think that we'll have a better world.
Yes.
Also, I want to say this. I think this is just my opinion. I think that this next generation that's coming, I tell my boys all the time, I think I'm just optimistic. I think that we live in just a wonderful, wonderful time. Now I know we got challenges here in America, but go to those other third world countries and you realize how blessed we are. I think with the advancement of technology, I've did millions and millions of dollars. I'm praying that I can hold some of those millions, but millions and millions of dollars have went through my fingertips on the internet through e-commerce, and the people didn't know what color I was.
Mm.
We live in a time where all of these barriers are being broken down. A lot of stuff that we're doing right now, a lot of these opportunities that we have right now, our ancestors only could dream about some of the stuff that we have now. And it's only going to get better and better and better. So I'm excited about the future. I know we have challenges as Black men, but I think we live in a wonderful, wonderful time right now. And it's only going to get better.
Right. Okay. Mr. Walt, talk.
Hey man, just to piggyback on those guys, like I am living it right now because a lot of people I helped along the way, I can see them hanging off of a fire truck and they'd be like, "Hey, Cap, man, thank you," that kind of stuff, because I know how guys influenced me when I came on, and I have conversations with them, and I make it my business to tell. Matter of fact, I'm trying to this day track down a retired state trooper from when I was 15 years old and had an accident that could have written me up another way and changed my whole path. And I literally just reached out to a buddy of mine today because I talked to him yesterday. Who's a state? I said, "Man, do me a favor. Do you know Trooper so and so? He's been retired." He said, "Yeah, I knew so and so." Man, if you can contact that brother, man, I need to talk to him. So when I approach young kids today, even walking down the street or riding down the street, we're talking about the talk. Hey man, you riding down the street, you got one headlight, you got the windows down, you smoking weed, you got no seatbelt on, you running lights. What you doing, man? And there's once in the blue moon, hey old dude, mind your business, all right. But I'm just telling you this because somebody took the time to tell me. So I think the one thing that I would hope that they will understand is that I see them. I see them. Because Lord knows, man, I've made some stupid decisions in my day. I remember my father telling me and my buddy, "You two idiots put your head together, and that's the best plan y'all could come up with, huh?" So, I mean, I know for a fact that you don't throw people away. I know people. I'm one of those people that you just can't throw people away. So I hope that as they mature, that they realize that, hey, man, Walt was at least honest with me, and his intentions were pure, and he was a pain in the neck, but at least he came from a place of love, man. So if when I die and people tell those stories at my funeral, man, and somebody else hears that and carries that on, man, that would be the greatest thing. And I ain't say if I die, when I die, hopefully no time soon. But hey, man, who knows, right? Lord willing, in the creek don't rise, So that's what I would like to say, man. And and even doing business or dealing with people, that I was fair and I was decent. That's that right there, man. It means everything to me. That's the way I live my life: integrity and respect. That's the way I live my life. So
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Right. Well, look, I appreciate each and every one of y'all for being on the stage.
Big Jack. You got to answer the question too, man.
Thank you.
I
Hey, Red.
was about to say the same thing. We can't go.
Don't leave us hanging, man. Answer the question, man.
Thank you, guys, because he would say I'm bullying them. But thank you, man. Hey, Rev, Maurice, Jay Green, thank you, man, because this guy's trying to slip out the door, man.
Right. Talk to us, Chief.
You're the host. You get to do that right now.
No. You don't
In all reality, and thank you all for being up here. And I'm gonna go ahead and share because I want my kids, the next generation, to say that I was fair. That I was fair across the board. I'm mean. I can be mean, but I mean evenly.
Equal opportunity gets
That's
you,
right.
honey. Equal
Yeah.
opportunity
So
gets you.
it's not a, you know, I'm not putting on a show for you. I'm not gonna, you know, I'm just not that person. So if anything, they're gonna say he was fair and honest. You know, I'm gonna give you what I got. And I'm gonna share all the stories I got because I want you to be successful. You know what I'm saying? I've been there. I've been in a lot of, I've had a lot of jobs, a lot of situations, a lot of things I've done. And I'm open to share that because I know, like, as you said, Pastor Frank, I'm not perfect. So, and I made a lot of mistakes, and you know, I should be in much better position than I am now. And it's only by the grace of God that I'm able to stand here and talk to you and this and that because I've done some dumb stuff in my life. But you don't have to go down that road. And this is, you know, to be successful. You don't have to go down that road to be known or and people to say, you know, this and that about you because you know that's not going to sustain itself. It's not. You know what I'm saying? I've been at the Division I level. I played Division I college. I've done these things. But with all that being said, you know, it doesn't make you any better or less of a person. You know, but what you doing now and some of the things that you talked about today is what makes you the man that you are. You know, you're on this stage because I looked at you and I said, hey, I need some people that's going to give me some real answers and it's going to give me some real conversation about what it is being a black male in the United States. You know what I'm saying? And it really is. And I thought I got exactly what I was looking for. And I appreciate that. But that's what I want my kids to say. And my son was in there. Matter of fact, one of the comments I made, he commented on it because that's the heavy hitters down there. The lesson was definitely learned. So the lessons that I've been trying to put out to my kids, and I've been through a divorce. So now I'm in that distant relationship with my kids. And we were 6 hours apart, but I would drive 6 hours just to watch a game and then get back on the road and come back home and go to work because I wanted to be there with them. I wanted them to see me. It wasn't like, you know, but someone had pointed out to me, and I respect this person for that, is like you can be present and still be an absent father. Yes. So that's what I need to work on. And that's what I want to make sure that I'm not that person that's there every day in the freaking house and still end up being an absentee father. So that's something that I want to make sure that is not being said about me from my kids and things like that. So when, you know, Derek, before we even started today, you said, I need to be present in my grandkids' life and this and that. Yeah, because I can send you money. I can do FaceTime. I can do all that. And you're still not there. So it's like, you know, the lessons that was learned and the things that we teaching. And I know, Green, you're young. So you haven't crossed a lot of those paths, but you got a good head on your shoulder. And your brother did too. So hats off to your parents.
Yeah,
because,
man.
I mean, really, I've talked to your brother, I talked to you, and I'm impressed. I really am impressed. And it's, you know, so hats off, you know, really. And I know some of it is because you had a good coach. I know from the college level, you know, you under what Eddie George as a head coach when you was at Tennessee, you had an HBCU, you know, so a lot of people have put in a lot in you to say, hey, you know, so with all of that being said, but I'm not going to take anything from your parent because, you know, right here looking at this stage, the stereotype was broken because I'm seeing present 3 of y'all married and been married for years. So it's like, that's not, you know, those are the things that they said that wasn't going on in the black family. Married and being with their kids and taking care of their responsibility. Like I say, have a job, have a career. So all of that stereotypes was just being shattered on this stage today. And I appreciate that because that's what I need to see. You know, because when I hear people say all black men, it's not all.
Yeah, it's not all.
I can show you this video right now and show that it's not all. If nothing else, I got 4, and I can tell you that's not like that. And I can put more on this stage. There's people that was trying to get on that couldn't get on stage, but they traveling because of the holiday. I can load this stage up with people that I know that's not like that. But that's what you do because you associate yourself with people like that. My best friend in the world is in this area today, and I barely got to see him. That's how busy I was this weekend. And it bothered me that I couldn't even have a sit down with him. But our relationship didn't change.
No.
We're still best friends because he know we don't have to sit in front of each other to show our love for one another. You know what I'm saying? I respect him, he respect me, and I don't have to sit at it. And we like to do it, but it don't always work out.
It didn't work out, but he know you made the effort.
100%. And he know it. And we already went through that. But that's no different like Maurice being on the stage today, and I appreciate you. Because like you
Yeah,
said,
man.
coming in from the West Coast, packing my bags, getting ready to go. That's and you stop to do this. See, that's what I'm talking about because we need that from one another. That's the whole show, the iron sharpening iron. What you said today is going to help me, and I hope something I said today is going to help you. And you know, all of y'all up here, Maurice, now you are, and Jay Green, you are down, Hall of Famers in the Hall, the iron sharpening iron, the Hall of Fame. You're now Hall of Famers. So I hope I can call on you and you'll come. We have all kinds of shows popping off. So, but without all that, I'm going to close out because we run out of time. If B can come up on the stage and give us our report, and we can get out of here. Gentlemen, if you can hang over after this show, please hang over just for a little bit. B, if you there, I'm going to pull up on the stage. All right, Boss B, what you got for us?
Boss B.
Your mic's not working.
There it is.
There we go.
Sorry. Good show tonight, guys. We did have quite a few in there, or quite a few comments at least. Miss Sharon, of course, Patricia White, Heavy Hitters Band, Edward Johnson, The Source was out there, and Ellen Smile.
Okay. All right. Okay. A lot of people popped in. A lot of people leaving all kinds of comments and all, and we appreciate each and every person that came through. Those who don't know, and if those on the stage you don't know, we are now being produced basically by BBTV Productions, and that's Boss B. So the show is definitely moving to another level and with the production. So we're going to go and close out, and I appreciate each and everyone. Have a very happy and safe Labor Day. Is that the holiday we celebrate?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Yeah, Labor Day. Make sure I get confused sometimes. But happy and safe Labor Day. Maurice, safe travels for y'all as y'all going out to Kansas, and definitely we'll be watching and at least watching your reports. I'm not sure if it's televised or not, but I'll definitely be watching the reports that you put out on how Kendall is doing. Jay Green, congratulations on buying the house. And all of that is going on in Nashville, Tennessee, you and your brother. So keep on your thing, man. Derek, thank you, and definitely success on your book and all that you're doing in the ministry and in life. Thank you. And then Walt Talks, you already know, man. You know, we're here. And Boss B, thank you again for all that you've done. So for each and every person out there in the chat, we say thank you, and we're going to say good night. Have a good weekend, and we talk to you all later. And this has been a BBTV production.
BBTV.